Dirk Diggler, Last War, Squad Power, 4-part series continues. This one, we are going to talk about heroes. Specifically, what are we going to talk about with heroes? Let me show you. We're going to talk about unlocking your UR heroes. We're going to talk about upgrading those heroes to 5 stars, upgrading their skills, which heroes to focus on, which tech to focus on, exclusive weapons, and lastly, Hall of Fame. Let's start off with talking about unlocking UR heroes. That's right. We need to unlock the UR heroes before we can upgrade them. So we can look at what UR heroes are available before Season 1 starts. These UR heroes will be available. They won't be available all at once. They open up slowly, week by week. When you get to Season 1, all of these will be available at that time. Now, your first power squad is going to be your tank squad. So these are the heroes you want to unlock in the tank squad. The primary hero you want to unlock at the beginning of the game is Kimmy. She's going to be your big damage dealer for quite some time in Season 0. You want to unlock her for sure. Murphy, you're going to get him. You want to unlock next is Marshall. You're going to use him for all of your code attacks. So definitely get Marshall unlocked, fired up, ready to go. Then you want to unlock the rest of the UR tank heroes. So you've got Stetman, and then you also have Williams. So you want to get those tank heroes unlocked so you can work on your tank squad. That is going to be your first squad. After that, your next squad will be your air squad. Your primary hitter there is going to be the lovely Diva. So she is one of the first ones that you want to get going in your air squad. Reaper is also another big one you want to get going. After that, I know how to pronounce her now. I was informed it's Skylar. Skylar, you want to unlock as well. She's a damage dealer. And then your 2 tank aircraft, you have Carly, and then you'll finally get Lucius. So that will make up your air squad, those UR heroes you want to unlock. Pre-Season 1, you want to at least get your tank squad and your air squad unlocked. If you don't have the money to spend to get the missile squad fully unlocked, that's okay. Focus on the air squad then. Okay, so that's going to be your primary squad going into Season 1, which is okay. After you get those unlocked, then, of course, you have your missile squad. You've got your big hitter Swift right there. You've got Tesla. And then you'll also get, eventually, Fiona. I think she's the last one to unlock. You'll have McGregor, and you'll have Adam. So you've got your 2 tanky guys, Adam and McGregor, and the rest are your damage dealers. So you'll want to get all of those heroes unlocked as well. Now, there's a couple key things you need to know here. In Season 1, you will get exclusive weapons for 3 of these heroes. So you definitely want to make sure to have those unlocked. You want to unlock those exclusive weapons, and that will be Diva. She will get an exclusive weapon, as you can see here. That will also be Kimmy. She will get an exclusive weapon, as you see here. And lastly, Tesla will finally get his exclusive weapon, as you see here. So keep that in mind. You want to have all your UR heroes unlocked, if possible, going into Season 1. If not, focus on the tanks, focus on the choppers. But by the end of Season 1, you should definitely have all of these unlocked. In addition, you will be able to upgrade Mason, right? He's a purple hero pre-Season 1. You're going to be able to upgrade him into a UR hero, and he is a beast when it comes to monsters. So you're going to use him for code. You're going to use him to attack Doomwalkers. You're going to use him for zombie bosses. So he is great for that. I highly recommend you upgrade him. So that concludes our unlocking heroes portion. Next, we'll talk about which ones we want to upgrade to 5 stars. Now that you got those heroes unlocked, let's take a look at which ones we want to upgrade to 5 stars. Now, it follows along pretty much with this unlocking situation I talked about earlier. However, there's some caveats here. So, once again, I said preseason one, what's your main squad? More than likely going to be as tanks. If you're a free to play player, you're definitely running tanks. Now, that being said, okay, so you want to get your tank heroes up to at least 4 stars. Um, but now, if you're going to pay a little bit of money, which I suggest you do, upgrade your air heroes to 4 stars at least, if not 5. What that's going to do is that is going to give you a huge advantage over those free to play players that are running tanks. Your aircraft heroes will decimate their tanks. If you have a 4 star crew of air heroes with equivalent gear, it will decimate the 4 star tanks. So keep that in mind. You want to upgrade your tanks to 4 stars, if not 5. Ideally, get them to 5, right? Put them in the Hall of Fame. But then, if you're going to pay some money, and I hope you do, um, get these tank UR heroes up to 5 stars. Get them up to 5 stars as soon as you can. And now, if you're just, okay, I'm spending money like a wazoo, I'm going to be a whale, you're going to want to get all your UR heroes up to 5 stars, especially your missile heroes. Because your missile heroes are going to beat up those air heroes as need be. And then, hopefully your tank squad is already 5 stars if you're spending money like that. So you want to get all heroes up to 5 stars. You can see I have all of my UR heroes up to 5 stars. I haven't done some of the purple heroes yet. I'll get there eventually. But it's been on the back burner because I typically don't use them. I usually use the UR heroes in my squad. So get those UR heroes. Now, talking about a few specific heroes you want to get up to 5 stars first. The heavy damage dealers, such as Kimmy, such as Diva. Those are the ones you want to get to 5 stars. You want to get Swift up there, Tesla up there. Those heavy damage dealers, get up there first. Get Reaper up there. And then the other one I want you to get up there as soon as possible is Marshall. Once again, you use him for code hits all the time. And where that becomes crucial is in a couple different places. Number one, when you have the Rampage bosses with the capital. And then number two, when you're doing server versus server, you want to beat the other server on code and maybe even get that first place code hit under your belt. You're going to use Marshall. You're going to use Marshall for every single friggin' code attack. So, I can't recommend enough that you get them up to 5 stars. So get those UR heroes up to 5 stars as soon as possible. Let's talk about upgrading skills. Now, your heroes have some specific skills that will affect, a lot of different variables. And the goal here is you want to get those skills maxed out, obviously, eventually. But in the meantime, your goal should be to get them up to level 20. So you're going to focus on your primary squad. If it's preseason one and you're free to play, it's going to be tanks. And you're going to be focusing on your skills of these 5 UR heroes. The one I really like to focus on a lot is Marshall's top right skill here. This is the one that affects everyone else in that squad party. And once again, used for code a ton. So make sure you get this skill maxed as soon as possible. Now, remember, until they are 5 stars, you can only get those skills up to 20. So make sure you max those skills to 20 as soon as you can, and then take them to 30 when it's available. So the skills follows along very similar to the stars, getting them to 4 stars, getting the skills to 20, getting them to 5, getting the skills to 30. In some cases, when they have exclusive weapons, it will unlock higher tiers of skills. For example, if you look at Diva, she's in the Hall of Fame. She has her exclusive weapon. Now, if you look at her skills, you can actually get them to 37 now. So that's kind of a neat little thing. It'll open up some higher level skills for Diva as well as the other two, Tesla and Kimmy, that have their exclusive weapons. So pay attention on what skills do. So actually look at those skills, think about your strategies, and think about what makes sense. And then based on those skills, where should I be putting heroes? So I should go into in-depth skills on all the heroes. In fact, I probably will do a separate video on that. That would be too detailed for this video. But just remember, get those heroes to 4 stars, get the skills to 20, and then get heroes to 5 stars, get the skills to 30. So just kind of keep that food for thought. Okay, so we've already talked about this a little bit, which heroes to focus on. Out the gate, it's going to be Kimmy, right? You're going to be using her as your big time damage dealer. A lot of focus is going to be on Kimmy out the gate. Also, Stetman's going to be a big one out the gate. Marshall's going to be a big one out the gate. You know, these guys you really want to focus on, build them up, get those stars up, get the skills up, like we talked about. Now, once that's said and done, as I've mentioned previously, if you're going to pay a little bit, you're going to go chopper, right? Preseason, you're going chopper. So you know you're going to work the chopper group, and then eventually you'll go missile. Now, let's talk about long-term hero focus, right? You're in season one, maybe you're out of season one, and you need to focus on some heroes. Well, you're going to have to decide. Do you want to spend money and keep your squad somewhat even? That's what I've been doing. Or are you going to be a one-trick pony? Now, there's nothing wrong with being a one-trick pony, but just remember, you can be countered a lot easier than if you have a little more tools in that basket. So keep that in mind. If you're going to be a one-trick pony, I do recommend you going missile. That is where the whales tend to go. And the reason is Swift here gets one hell of a special weapon, exclusive weapon, in Season 2. So, you know, that's why a lot of the big hitters are going to be missile. So keep that in mind moving forward. You know, where you're going to focus, more than likely going to be missile as the game goes on. That being said, you've got your exclusive weapon in Season 1 for Tesla. Your goal should be to get him up to 20 as soon as possible. I'm up to 18. I'm going to be able to get him up to 19, as you can see. And then one more bump, and I'll have him at 20. That is the unlock level for him. So you can see these little unlock buttons here. This is 20. It unlocks his next tier of special effects, his buff. And then finally, when you get it maxed at 30, you get that big boy. So, you know, that's obviously the goal, but that's not an easy thing to do to get him to 30. But that is your goal. You're going to focus on missile. You're going to focus on those exclusive weapons and work on building those heroes. As I've said previously, 5 stars first, then max those skills, then exclusive weapons, and you will be good to go. You will have one heck of a squad there. That is for sure. Now that we've talked about what heroes to focus on, let's briefly look at some hero tech. I already have a video on tech specifically, so I don't want to get too in-depth on this, but there's some key ones here you can look at. The big one here, obviously, is where it says hero. So, you know, that's going to be a big one to focus on, to work through this tech tree. It does not require Valor, so it's a good one to do if you don't have Valor. If you do have Valor, then you're going to probably be working on your Special Forces. Your Special Forces tree, you're going to want to unlock T10s, but that is not related to heroes directly. That has more to do with squad power, which is what the whole thing of this series is about. But regardless, you want to get your Special Forces up to 40%. After it's at 40%, it starts unlocking masteries. And that's when you're going to get to focus on hero-specific upgrades. However, before you do the masteries, I'm a big fan of doing things that affect all hero types, and that is siege to seize when you're on the offense, and defense fortification, stating the obvious, when you're on defense. So as you can see, I've really been working on my siege to seize. I've maxed out the bottom of the tree. I am working on this part of the tree now. I will have more than likely, hopefully, this part done this week. Then I can finish up my defense fortifications. Then I will work on my masteries. Now, ideally, you want to get each of these masteries to 20% before proceeding to the next one. That is so you can have, you know, equal level squads, so you can move your gear around if you need to counter an enemy. That's why I don't recommend just going gangbusters and missile mastery, which you will see a lot of people do. They will leave tank and aircraft to the side and just blow up their missile mastery, but you don't want to do that. You want to try to keep these equalized, try to keep your squads equal so you can move the gear around to determine who your top squad is going to be. And this comes in handy so many different facets of the game. So keep that in mind. Once again, you're focusing on tech. Get your hero tech up. Max it out if you can. Go cray-cray. But that should be a big goal. Get down here. Remember, this affects all hero types once you get down here. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about exclusive weapons and who gets unlocked in what season. You can see from my pretty little graphic here, exclusive weapons. In Season 1, you're going to get Kimmy, Diva, and Tesla. Season 2, you're going to get Murphy, Carly, and Swift. In Season 3, you're going to get Marshall, Skylar, and McGregor. I am currently in Season 1 right now. I have 3 heroes with exclusive weapons. First one is Kimmy. If I look at her exclusive weapons, you can see I am at level 20. I have 3 of the buffs unlocked for the level 20 exclusive weapon. I still have the 4th one to go, which unlocks at level 30. You can see right now at level 20, it's going to cost me 150 shards to get to the next level. Let's take a look at Diva, for example. Her exclusive weapon is up to 22, and it is also taking 150 shards to get to the next level. 3 out of her 4 buffs unlocked. The 4th one, once again, unlocks at 30. And lastly, I just got Tesla last week. I have got his exclusive weapon unlocked to level 18. You can see it is only 100 shards to upgrade. Once you get to 20, that'll change to 150 per level. So keep that in mind as you save up those exclusive weapon shards for upgrades. Okay, let's take a look at the Hall of Fame. What is the Hall of Fame? How do you get there? The Hall of Fame is after you get to 5 stars on a hero. So you go to tier, you get your 5 stars, and you can go to what's called the Hall of Fame. Here you can continue to upgrade your heroes that are 5-starred. You can take them to additional Hall of Fame levels. When you do, it will unlock additional buffs for them. Every 50, you get a bonus buff. So here you can see, for example, on Fiona, she gets buffed missile hero attacks up 0.5%, and this applies to all missile heroes, as well as you can see hero bonus, all hero HP. So all heroes get affected by this change, which is kind of nice. Now, it takes 10 shards to upgrade these until you get to level 200. Once you get to level 200, it will take 20 shards. That was a real eye-opener for me. As you can see here, it's going to take 20 shards, but I have 646 shards, so that means I will get 32 upgrades out of him. So I'll be taking Tesla to 232 at versus time. So this is important to remember. I try to keep these pretty even. I have been showing a little extra love, as you can see, to Missile Hero, but I'm going to get my tank heroes up. The one guy I focus on a lot, obviously, is Marshall, as it adds to his power. I do that because of code. So I use him on everything for code. So I highly recommend that. But the goal is to get all the heroes up to 200 as quick as possible. I've been focusing on the heroes that have exclusive weapons. You can see Diva is way up there. As I just said, Tesla's going to blow through the roof, and then Kimmy's already at 200. So those are the ones I'm focusing first in Hall of Fame, are the ones that have exclusive weapons. Also, it's easy to buy shards for those. They have something called the Shard Roulette that you can spin and get them. But the goal, first, get your heroes up to 50, take advantage of that buff, and then get them all up to 200. So I'm going to add a little bonus onto the Squad Power series, and this is pretty cool. Each season, there is one SSR hero you will be able to upgrade to UR status, and I will show you which ones you can upgrade each season. So in Season 1, you will be able to upgrade Mason from purple to gold or yellow, whatever you want to call it. Season 2 is Violet. Season 3 is Scarlet. Now, there is a really cool trick to get lots and lots and lots of versus points to upgrading them from SSR to UR, and I will show you that with Violet next season. I did not do that with Mason this season. I was an idiot, but I will do it with Violet next season. I will show you how to get those mega versus points. Anyhow, this has been part 4 of my Squad Power series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure you leave a nice comment, you like it, and you subscribe. And if you do have questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you so much. Dirk Diggler, Last War, signing off.